Good morning, grade 2. Today is Thursday, April 2nd, 2020, 4-2-20. Happy birthday, Isaac. How are you doing today? Hope you're going to have some fun. Well, today we're going to have some more fun with mixed numbers, okay? We did one worksheet with that yesterday, and now we're going to do another worksheet today. So that is one thing that you'll need to have for doing your work with me today. So if you want to pause the video and go and get that worksheet for lesson 112. Lesson 112, it has some squares and circles, and then on the bottom it has some smaller squares and circles that are shaded in. Okay, so we're going to do some work with that in a minute. If you need to pause and get that, go ahead. All right, so ready to roll. We're going to talk about mixed numbers. So first of all, I'm going to stand up here and show you this whiteboard, all right? And we're going to do a little bit of work here on mixed numbers. So let's say one day at school, the teachers brought in some pies. They brought in 3 pies. And of those 3 pies, they ate 2 1/4. They ate 2 1/4 pies. We must have been very hungry. So how would you show that? Well, 2, the whole number 2, we would have to color in 2 pies. And remember, sometimes when I color in with a whiteboard marker, once you go back over a spot that you colored, it sometimes kind of erases itself. When you're coloring in, make sure you color in nice and neat and get it all the way so that it's nice, looks really nice. We need one more because I said 2. We ate 2 1/4 pies. I bet they were very small pies. So I'm coloring in 2 pies, 2 1/4. So what would I have to divide this last circle in? You're right, I would have to divide it into 4 equal sections, as equal as I can. And I would color in 1/4. Do you remember how to write a mixed number from yesterday? 2 1/4. And notice how my fraction takes up the same amount of space as my number 2 does when I write it, okay? That's how we want to make sure we're writing a fraction, 2 1/4. Well, the next day, we brought brownies, and each teacher ate 1 1/3 brownies. 1 1/3. So we would color in 1 of the brownies. I should have my brown marker out. And 1/3. And so to do 1/3, we'll have to divide our rectangle, or excuse me, our square here into 3 equal sections. We could do it with vertical lines. We could have done it with horizontal lines. Either one would have been fine. And now we're going to shade in 1/3. One 1/3. And I'm going to use this box space here to be able to write my answer. So here's 1 1/3. 1 1/3. 1 1/3. That's a mixed number. Here's our whole number. Here's our fraction. That makes it a mixed number. For our last one, we had cake. My goodness, we had a lot of sweets. And this time we ate 1 3/4 of the cakes. So you're right, I would color in 1 all the way. And then in our next one, I would divide it as equally as I can into fourths. And this time I would color 1, 2, 3/4. Okay, and I'm going to use my last circle here to have room for my answer. 1 3/4. That's how we write our mixed number. Okay, so there's a little review of that. Now I'm going to switch to my other screen here, and if you haven't already gotten your worksheet and a pencil, would you go ahead and grab that, but pause the video if you would, please. I'll go to my other screen so that I get my page up too. All right, whenever you're ready. So we'll need our pencil. Obviously, we put our name on top, all of those good things that we do. And it gives you a direction here by each one of how much they want you to color. Okay? So the first number is our whole number. So that tells you how many squares you want to color in completely. So for number 1, you want to color in 2 squares completely. So let's take our pencil and just lightly shade in, but neatly, 2 squares all the way. All right, so our whole number was 2. We have 2 whole squares. Next, we have our fraction, 1/2. So we have to divide the next square into half. You can divide it in half however you'd like. Corner to corner, straight across, vertical line up and down, you decide. And here we have to color 1/2. Oops, I got a little bit out of the line here. Erase that. There we go. So we have 2 and 1/2. Now we don't need these extra squares here, and that's fine. We just leave them just like they are. You'll notice that for each one, there's 5 of whatever shape they have. Okay? So that's how we do number 1. I'd like you to skip down to number 4. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. I'm going to move my paper up here so you can see it. Number 4 says color 1 and 3/4 circles. So our whole number is 1. So how many whole circles will we color in? We'll color in 1 whole circle. And then the next one, we'll color in 3/4 of the circle. So we divide our circle into fourths the best we can. And this time we're going to color 3 of each of the fourths. Almost finished. There we go. Now on your own, not right now, but after we're done with our video, I want you to do number 2 and number 3 on your own. And we're going to go through a couple on the bottom here, and you'll do part of that on your own as well too. Okay, so let's go down to the bottom right now. And on this side, they give you a drawing, a picture of some shaded shapes, and then you have to write the fraction. The mixed number, the whole number and the fraction together, making a mixed number. Let's see, which ones should we try? Let's do the last two. Let's do 7 and 8, okay? So let's look at number 7. So the first thing we want to do is have our whole number. What whole number should we have? So we count how many squares or how many shapes are colored in all the way, are wholly colored in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our whole number, the ones that are all colored in and whole, is a 4. Now we look at our last shape. That's only partially colored in. We have to check how many equal parts does it have? 3. So that's going to be the bottom number of our fraction. How many are colored in? 1, 2. So our mixed number here would be 4 and 2/3. 1, 2, 3, 4 colored in wholly. 2 out of 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? That's how we do number 7. Let's look at number 8. How many whole circles are colored in? This one is completely colored in. This one is completely colored in, so we have 2. So our whole number is a 2. Now, what fraction do we have here? How many pieces? Well, this circle is divided into 4 pieces. So how many fourths do we have? 1, 2, 3 fourths are colored in. 1, 2, 3 fourths colored in, and 4 pieces all together. So our fraction is 3 fourths. So 2 and 3 fourths. So your job is to finish number 5 and number 6. Here you're just writing the answer in the box. There's no coloring for you to do. The first number is how many whole pieces are colored in, how many whole shapes. And then the fraction for your mixed number is looking at the last shape that they give you. What is it divided into and how many pieces of it are shaded? And then also remember to go back up and finish number 2 and number 3, coloring in exactly what they tell you to do here. Have your family take a picture of this worksheet for me along with lesson side B for 112 and turn that in. All right, I'm going to cut back to me. Hello, here I am. All right, so remember, finish up this worksheet page, okay? Finish up your worksheet page and then have your family take a picture of it and show me how you did on your work. If you have any questions, make sure you give me a call, okay? I'll be more than happy to work with you on it. And then do lesson 112 A, have someone at home check it over, and then do B and give me a copy of that. All right, good job. The next thing I wanted to do, and I forgot to remind you about this, or talk to you about it, I should say, on either Tuesday or Wednesday, and that is how do we weigh something bigger like us? We use a scale, and I bet most of you have a bathroom scale, maybe something similar to the one that I have in our bathroom, something like this, okay? So you have to think about when you're weighing by pounds, how much do you weigh? Do you weigh as much as a sack of potatoes? Boy, it'd have to be a pretty big sack of potatoes, I think. All right. How much does a gallon of milk weigh? Usually a couple of pounds, okay? Young baby, they might weigh up to 10 pounds, right? If they're getting to be 1 year old, they're probably closer to between 17 to 20 pounds. How much do you weigh? Are you close to 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds? Yes, as we get older, we get bigger and we weigh more as well. If you have a scale at home, check to see how much you weigh. Something fun to do. You could see how much other things weigh on your scale too. They just have to be a little bit heavier if you're going to weigh them on this type of a scale, okay? So I wanted to, so that everyone did great answering the question yesterday that had to do with pounds. And then next we want to talk about, you should be doing your work on your science page, the sun. We've had some great days out here to be able to try to make that science experiment work. So see if you can get yourself to make a rainbow. That would be awesome. Take your test on Spelling City on Mice and Beans. If you haven't already read your book, make sure you read it and then take an AR test. If for some reason you take an AR test and you can't take it because you already had taken it in the past, please make sure that you indicate that to me. You have to send me a message about that. Otherwise, I don't know. It doesn't show me that, okay? Keep reading on EPIC for your DT3 activities and taking those AR tests. A reminder, when you're reading those EPIC books, especially because the ones I assign you are nonfiction, they often have a glossary and index at the very end of it. You have to go past those pages and get to the green bar. It usually is green, I think, where it says finished. Finish the book. So make sure you click on that so that it shows me on my end that you have finished reading that book as well. Otherwise, it shows that you're not quite finished. And then be sure to read everything that's in each book. Some of them have little caption things around the side. Make sure you're reading everything on every page because sometimes some of the questions on AR come from that part as well. And then, of course, our solid base is our memory treasure. And make sure that you call and tell me that. Or if your parents want to take a video of you and send that to me as well, that would be fine as well. It's an easy one again today. And no hymn for tomorrow. We are just practicing. I hope you've been singing through Hosanna and My Passover Lamb and the Yet Not I, but through Christ in Me. Sing through those songs with us as they are posted on the YouTube video. Have a great rest of the day. Happy birthday, Isaac. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. See you soon.